Have you ever opened up Tekken expecting to have a great time to just get destroyed by a Dragunov and a King with you not understanding anything that is going on the match? Me too. Today we're going to talk about why that may be happening and also why Tekken 8 is actually a great game for beginners. I know that saying that Tekken is good for beginners is insane, but please hear me out, okay? Let me explain it. So first, so you guys can understand my situation, I have never played Tekken before. I did play some Tekken 7 at the end of its lifespan when you could buy it for like $8, but I was just goofing around. I was not trying to understand Tekken. So Tekken 8 is my first quote-unquote serious Tekken experience. What I have accomplished is that I got to Garyu with Jin, I got to Mighty Ruler with Victor, I got to the orange ranks with Yoshimitsu, and I'm currently trying to rank up with Kazuya, and I'm very close to the first red rank. Taking into account, my experience that I have exposed to you guys already, I want to say the first reason why I think that Tekken 8 is a great game for beginners. The first thing is, Tekken 8 has a ton of characters that are super easy to play. You have, again, the one that I played, Victor. Playing Victor is fairly easy. You just need to learn like some confirms and some of his neutral tools, his best normals, and you're ready to go. You can play the game. You don't need to learn, super high execution combos. You don't need to learn like super specific neutral interactions. And there's a lot of characters like that. You could argue, for example, that Jin is a pretty easy character, except for the fact that you need to do electrics maybe, and for his stances. Jin is a pretty straightforward character. You could also say that about Paul, about Law, also about King probably. You can also say that about Azucena. So there is a lot of examples of characters that you can learn very quickly that can be your first step around learning how to play Tekken. I did not even mention Alisa, so please do not get me started on Alisa. You do not need to play a super complex character to learn or enjoy Tekken. I think that you can pick a very straightforward character and you can choose it because of his design, because you like how it looks, and start slowly. And that is the first mistake that beginners make in Tekken. That is that they look for perfection. They want to play perfectly. They want to have like crazy combos, crazy neutral. And the reality of starting a fighting game, especially Tekken, is that you need to go slow. There are so many variables and so many factors in the gameplay that you have to take it slow, or you're going to be so traumatized by how much stuff is happening in the game that you're actually not going to learn anything. My second reason is what we could call modern controls. This is the specific name of the type of controls that Street Fighter 6 has. But most, like modern fighting games have made this effort to have some sort of option for people to not execute inputs and to basically enjoy the game with just mashing your controller, which is fine. It's a way of enjoying the game differently than trying to, actually playing correctly, which is just a way of seeing a fighting game. It's not like the reality of how you have to play in terms, of like gameplay design. But the thing with easy controls is that you have to ask yourself, are you trying to just enjoy the game or are you trying to actually learn? Because if you want to learn, easy controls are kind of a trap because they don't really teach you anything. And if you want to become better at Tekken, you have to actually expose yourself to training. And when you use easy controls, you don't really learn something about the character you're playing or about how to play the game itself. You just see what a character does. You could argue that that is like a first step to understand a character, like his moves, how they look, how the character moves, but it is a very little thing. You can learn that by learning other things at the same time. So easy controls, in my opinion, are actually setting you back from becoming good and actually enjoying a game like Tekken. They are like taking away your ability to enjoy the game more. And my third reason kind of connects with both of the reasons that I just exposed before, and that is that when you play a game like Tekken, or in reality any other fighting game, and you're a beginner, you have to learn how to embrace losing. You can't look for perfection in your gameplay and also in your, victory screen. Like, there is going to be a message saying that you lost a lot of times, and that is fine. You don't need to win every time, and you also don't need to be good at the game at the start. There's a reason why you are bad, and that is because you're starting the game. You're supposed to be bad at the game, and that is okay. The moment that you actually embrace losing and you understand that losing is a good thing, you're going to become crazy better, okay? Because you're going to actually see what losing can bring to the table. It can show you how to fight a character that you didn't know, and that's why you lost. It can also show you new options for the character that you are playing, because sometimes maybe in a match you can't open up the person that you're playing against. So losing is a positive thing, and if you ask anyone that is good at something, that is actually elite at something, that could be games, sports, music, art, or whatever, they're going to tell you that failing is probably the best way to become better at something. And with fighting games specifically, I would say the losing, it's a very harsh experience. People don't really enjoy losing, and I understand it, because you're playing a game, and the goal of the game at the end of the day, the main goal in many ways, is winning, because there is a victory screen and there is a losing screen. So the person that gets the victory screen is the one that is technically playing the game better, okay? And you gotta understand that that is not really true. There's a lot of ways in Tekken and in many other fighting games of winning by doing incorrect things, and that's because in a setting of best to 3 rounds, like, any character in this game can just cheese you out. Like, they can mash like crazy, they can execute options that are stupid basically, and win. And it is okay to do that sometimes, but in the long term, that is an awful strategy. And people that play like that, at the end of the day, are doing it because they are afraid of losing. They just want to get a win in the easiest way, and to basically minimize the amount of effort that they put on the game. And that is fine if you want to just enjoy the game and have a fun time. But if you want to learn, that is probably the worst way to actually play the game. And now we get to the last reason why I think that Tekken 8 is great for beginners, and that is that Tekken 8 can teach you how to actually enjoy playing fighting games. A big problem with fighting games in general is that they are really frustrating, so it is actually not that easy to understand how to enjoy a game and actually learn how to play it. And I think that Tekken 8 is great at showing you amazing things. When you have a match, crazy stuff happens. There's a lot of times in which your opponent does amazing things, and you have to actually learn how to enjoy those kind of funny and epic moments that maybe your opponent give you, and you did not do anything cool maybe that match, but he did. So you have to actually understand how to enjoy that and embrace the fact that there is actually 2 persons playing the game. It's not only you against kind of a CPU that is mocking you up, always winning. So there is kind of this section about enjoying fighting games that is related to giving props to the other guy. So those are my reasons, guys, why I think that Tekken 8 it's great for beginners. You have the easy controls to actually just enjoy the game by mashing, and that it can in some way get you more curious about being better. You have the fact that Tekken is a great game to embrace losing, to actually understand the value of losing and learning new things through that sort of negative experience, but it's not negative really, it's labeled as negative. So I hope that you guys liked the video, and please let me know what you think about this topic in the comments. What has been your experience with the game? And please subscribe if you're able to support the channel, and I hope that you have a great day and a great week. See you soon.